Effective immediately, Dr. Horton has been placed on paid administrative leave.
The superintendent of the DeKalb County School District is on leave tonight after he was indicted on federal charges today. Fox 5's Christopher King has been closely watching the situation all day and will join us live from DeKalb with the latest.
The caller claimed that there were explosives placed around the outside of a business and that they would detonate them if they didn't receive monetary reward in the sum of $50,000.
A terrifying threat in one metro Atlanta community leaves business owners in fear. Fox 5's Denise Dillon will explain what authorities gave so far in their investigation.
They're still monitoring a couple evening showers out there. Now, this is the exception rather than the rule across North Georgia. Everybody's experiencing, for the most part, some pretty nice temperatures, and that's where we're headed by morning. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Fox 5 News at 10 starts right now.
The superintendent of DeKalb County Schools has been indicted. A federal grand jury in Chicago indicted Devon Horton on 17 counts, including wire fraud, embezzlement, and tax evasion. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Russ Spence.
I'm Courtney Bryant. The indictment accuses Horton of running a kickback scheme and stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from his previous employer, the Evanston-Skokie School District 65. Fox 5's Christopher King has been combing through that indictment and joins us live at the DeKalb County Board of Education. Christopher, what are you finding out?
Well, Courtney and Russ, the Board of Education held an emergency meeting right behind those doors. Why? An indictment that accuses Superintendent Devon Horton of handing out more than $280,000 in contracts to his friends and getting more than $80,000 in kickbacks. In the meantime, the board held an emergency meeting and took action against Horton.
Effective immediately, Dr. Horton has been placed on paid administrative leave.
The DeKalb County Board of Education on Thursday placed Superintendent Devon Horton on administrative leave. This after a federal grand jury on Wednesday indicted Horton on fraud, embezzlement, and tax evasion charges.
We are concerned by these allegations. Our top priority will remain the well-being of our students, staff, and the entire DCSD community.
The grand jury in the Northern District of Illinois issued the 17-count indictment. It claims from 2020 through 2023, Horton ran a kickback scheme and stole money from his previous employer, Evanston-Skokie School District 65. That's where he served as superintendent before DeKalb. It accuses Horton of giving more than $280,000 in contracts to 3 friends and getting more than $80,000 in kickbacks. The indictment accuses 3 other men in the scheme: Antonio Ross, Samuel Ross, and Alfonso Lewis. The indictment also accuses the men of creating companies and billing for services they did not provide to the Evanston-Skokie and Chicago school districts. Now, Terrence Campbell, the attorney for Devon Horton in Chicago, put out a statement, quote, "The allegations in Chicago relate to conduct that is several years old and have nothing whatsoever to do with his very successful work on behalf of students and families and teachers in DeKalb County." In the meantime, the DeKalb board appointed Norman Sauce III to serve as the interim superintendent of schools here. We're live in DeKalb County. Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
Some very serious accusations. Christopher, thank you. Horton's contract was recently extended in DeKalb to 2028. His base salary, $360,000 a year. DeKalb County Schools hired him in 2023. And during his time in Illinois, he faced a 2021 lawsuit that accused him and the district of promoting, quote, race-based programming. Horton also filed for bankruptcy twice, once in 2006 and again in 2015. A SWAT standoff in Cherokee County ends with a gunman behind bars tonight. Authorities say they were responding to a domestic violence call at a home on Rolling Green Drive. When officers arrived, they spotted the victim with a number of serious injuries. She told police that her boyfriend hit her in the face with a gun and also threatened officers. After several hours, the suspect surrendered peacefully, we're told. He's now facing multiple charges as a result. Dunwoody police are looking for the men who they say fired shots toward another man who caught them trying to steal his car outside his apartment.
It happened late Monday into Tuesday at an apartment on Lake Ridge Lane. Joshua Jackson says a bullet hit the hood of his car and shattered a window. He says other bullets hit his apartment. Police believe at least 2 men are responsible. Jackson says he doesn't believe he was targeted and says they were simply after the car.
Just makes you think like, there's just no regard for life whatsoever. Like, you're trying to just get a quick buck and you do whatever it takes. Like, you're really willing to kill somebody over it.
Thankfully, Jackson is expected to be okay. If you have any information to help in the case, you're asked to come forward and you can remain anonymous. It's been more than 2 weeks since a DeKalb County man was shot 6 times by police during a traffic stop.
Rodney Moore's wife, Danielle, says since then she had gotten very few details about how her husband was doing and wasn't allowed to see him at Grady until today. Rodney's arrest warrant states that an officer reported seeing what looked like a gun, and Rodney confirmed that. The warrants say he ignored commands to keep his hands on the wheel and kept reaching down. That's when the officer opened fire. Danielle tells Fox 5 she finally got a chance to tell her husband she loves him just days after their 25th wedding anniversary.
It was a little shock, but after that, he can smile. He tries to communicate, but he does it by writing.
Danielle says Rodney will remain at Grady for treatment. She tells us she wants a full investigation and still doesn't understand why her husband was seen as a threat given his physical disabilities.
Fulton County Deputy DeMarcus Tensley is accused of conspiring with 3 inmates to bring contraband into the Rice Street jail. Warrants indicate a shakedown early last month revealed a substantial amount of contraband, including cocaine, marijuana, meth, and a cell phone. And we're told there's video of all of it. Deputy DeMarcus Tensley faces multiple felony charges, and the 3 inmates were arrested as well.
All right, let's talk about the weather, shall we? A live look outside through our Omni camera on a beautiful night outside after a day that was really comfortable and, as you said earlier, moving in the direction toward fall.
Yeah. Dare I say, you might need a jacket when you go outside tonight.
That'd be nice.
Depending on your comfort level. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist David Shanley to talk about it. It feels different out there, David.
It is, and it will by morning because we're going to turn these temperatures down some 10, 15 degrees in a lot of spots by early in the morning. So, yeah, nice little autumn chill right around the corner. Now, we're dealing with a couple showers that refuse to kind of go away. It's just been kind of an oddity today because they've been sitting out here to the west of the city and up into parts of DeKalb County through much of the evening, and very little movement with these. They're just kind of sitting there and stewing. Yeah, and we had some pretty heavy rainfall going on up here across parts of northwest Georgia as well. How about that shower near Noonan? That's about it. But I mentioned Floyd County. They picked up nearly 2 inches of rain in and around Rome. Now that's decaying. I expect these showers to kind of die on out. I do look for a clearing trend by the time we get into early tomorrow morning. And you can see around the southeast, I mean, that's such the oddity, seeing those showers there in northwest Georgia. Here's the story right now. We're just kind of mostly cloudy, 69. We only hit 73 today after hitting 88 yesterday. The dew point's down to 50, so the air's a little bit drier. So tonight we'll come out of the 60s and on into the 50s by early tomorrow morning. Yeah. You'll need that jacket at the bus stop and heading into work because it's going to be in the low to mid 50s in a lot of areas, even some 40s up in the mountains. And we got a bit of a breeze on tap for tomorrow as well. And with sunshine, we're only going to be right there in the lower 70s. We'll discuss that, the weekend forecast, and what old Tropical Storm Jerry's up to, that in a few minutes.
All right, David, thanks. In Marietta, 2 bomb threats in just a couple of weeks.
Police don't believe the 2 cases are related, but they're taking the threats very seriously. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Marietta tonight. Denise, these threats had an impact on businesses.
They certainly did. One of the threats was made at this bar. The place was evacuated. The business was shut down as police swarmed the area. And another threat was made at a gym about a mile down the road.
I heard sirens, and then I seen multiple cop cars.
Police rushed to Lovely Bodies Gym on West Atlanta Street Wednesday morning after a bomb threat was called in.
Someone called 911, and they told them that we had 3 minutes to get out.
The caller claimed that there were explosives placed around the outside of a business and that they would detonate them if they didn't receive monetary reward in the sum of $50,000.
Employees and clients evacuated the building as police searched for a bomb.
They searched the whole parking lot, the cars, around the building, inside.
No bomb was found. 2 weeks earlier, a bomb threat had been called into Johnny McCracken's pub just off the Marietta Square.
4 fire trucks, there were 20 police officers, roads blocked off in every direction.
The owner heard the 911 call.
Somebody overheard a bomb threat being done, and it would go off at 12 o'clock midnight.
The pub was evacuated. Again, no bomb was found. Police later arrested 29-year-old James Lusk, who had been kicked out of the bar earlier in the night after a disturbance. The owner says Lusk needs to pay his staff for the money they lost while the bar was shut down on a very busy Friday night.
They took a hit on their tips.
Police say when there's a bomb threat like this, it has an impact on businesses, traffic, and it takes a toll on first responders.
This is no laughing matter, and the people that are making these hoax calls will be held accountable.
And investigators are still trying to determine who made that threat at the gym yesterday morning. If you have any information, give them a call. Reporting live in Marietta, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
All right, Denise, thanks.